Hey, Don, it's Mark Liebel again for you today with your Daily Inspire for 228. Today we're looking at this whole week. We're starting out restoration. That's going to be our main theme that runs through the week, and we're going to unpack that in various different ways during the course of the week. Mondays we typically do a step meeting and we a step reading, I should say. So all this the reading I'm doing right now is straight up from Life Recovery Bible. So give them a shout out, Life Recovery Bible. And today's step is number 2. We came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. The message is called restoration. If you got a Life Recovery Bible, it would be page 1319. Our Bible reading is Luke chapter 15, verse 11 through 24. So the natural progression of addiction, like life, degenerates. In one way or another, many of us wake up one day to realize that we are living like an animal. True story, right? How true this depends on the nature of our addictions. Some of us may be living like an animal in terms of our physical surroundings. Others of us may be a slave to our animal passions, our powerful emotions that dehumanize us and others. A young man took an early inheritance and traveled away from his home. And we all know the story of the prodigal son. Some of us know the story of the prodigal son, but it's just the story of a young man who took his inheritance and went away from home. So when the money was spent, and the women that he was hanging out, carousing around with, all right, was just a memory, and the high, long gone, he resorted to slopping pigs, all right, slopping the pigs, feeding the pigs to earn a meager living. When he became so hungry, he finally came to his senses. And I like that part. He came to his senses. That's a key word. For us to be restored, we need to come to our senses. There has to be a light bulb moment. There has to be a moment in our lives where we say, this is insane. What am I doing, right? And he had that moment. He came to his senses and said to himself, at home, even the hired servants have food enough to spare. And here I am dying of hunger. I will go home to my father. And so he returned home to his father. And while he was still a long way off, his father saw him coming. Now he's down the road a bit, he's down the driveway a bit, and his father must have been out there working in the fields or whatever, and just happened to see a figure in the distance. And like if you're a parent, you kind of know to walk, you kind of know the shape of your kids, and then finally you recognize, wow, that's my prodigal son. He's returning home. And so when he's a far way off, the father's saw him coming. He filled with love and compassion. He was filled with love and compassion. He ran to his son, embraced him, and kissed him. That's Luke chapter 15, verse 17 through 18 and verse 20. The fact that we are able to recognize our lives as degenerate or insane proves that there is hope for a better way of life. When we get to that aha moment, when we get to the eyes, when our senses came to our senses, when we got to our senses and we realized that, the fact that we able to recognize our lives are degenerate or insane proves that there is hope for a better life. That's when God steps in, and God steps in multiple times. We are reminded of times when life was good, and we long to have that goodness restored. So when we turn to God, who is powerful enough to help us build something better, we will discover that his power can restore us to sanity. So I pray that, we in this story that the father ran after his son. And that's what God does for us. That's a picture of Jesus running after us, saying, God's just saying, take that step, that one step. Turn around, and I want to meet you halfway. Not even meet you halfway. I'll meet you 3/4 of the way. I'll meet you almost where you're at. Okay? And love up on you And God is the same way. He's filled with love and compassion when he sees one of his kids come back home. So be blessed, guys. Until the next Daily Inspire. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.